guys, Fusebucks, back on Raid Shadow Legends, and today we're going to go over Sachi. So I'm building up some of my Shadow King, getting ready for when Faction Wars opens up. I beat all my other ones, so kind of getting prepared, right? I knew I was going to take her up. She's got a lot to offer, but I ended up having so much fun. This is one of those days that I got home late, I had a good day with my wife, and came home and I actually got to just play the game. I'm so busy all the time. I had a lot of fun. And I've been thinking some things through with some of these passives on some of these new heroes. So we're going to have some fun with that too. But let's talk about Sachi. What makes her good? I thought there might be some issues. I knew she'd be worth building, especially for Faction Wars. But let's just go over her. First, look at these cooldowns. She's got an AoE on her A1. That's already important. She's got a 2-turn cooldown on an A2 that brings Leech and breaks crit rate on the boss or enemy you're up against. She has a 3-turn cooldown on a increase the attack for your entire team, and then fills the turn meter of your entire team by 20%. She's a turn meter booster on a 3-turn cooldown, breaking crit rate against strong enemies or bosses, puts Leech on them so you don't need to bring life steal gear on whatever you're up against. And then her A1 has a 50% chance as an AoE to actually break accuracy. So any waves you're up against in Doom Tower, anywhere where it really matters, especially like Faction Wars, you can actually lower their accuracy by 50%, meaning they're going to miss most of their abilities on you. Now, I'm not going to build a resist set or anything today. We're going to just look at what she actually does for you. But then her passive. It's kind of like Altan. She can, if she kills somebody, she will revive a dead ally with 30% HP. And anytime an ally is revived, it doesn't have to be her that does it, she has a 50% shot of putting fear on all enemies for 1 turn. Now that's pretty cool. Another way to lock out the entire enemy team. So a chance to put up fears anytime somebody dies. She can pull off a revive on her own. I started thinking, we're going to talk about her build and everything in just a second, but I had noticed other passives lately built around dying, reviving. If you've been with me for a while, you know that Nogdar is one of my favorite heroes in this game. Now I did finally get him on this account. The day I got him, I put him in a frenzy set and went ham with him. I love that guy. He does huge damage. So here he will not. He will not do huge damage because he has no books. He has like a frenzy set, but he has no gear rolled up. He has nothing going on for him right now. But Nogdar has a passive. Basically, where we at? When he dies, he just pops right back up. As long as he doesn't die twice in 1 round, he just pops right back up. He loves to die. So this is a chance to throw fears out anytime he goes ahead and does his favorite thing, dying, right? And he'll pop right back up. And now I started thinking about, I've been working on Burning Geary. Now he has no books either, so he can't land his provoke. He can't land his stun. Very small chance anyway. But this guy is actually pretty solid once you have this guy booked out, built out. So I've got him in a frenzy set. Just because I like to get back to, once I'm booked, I would like to get back to using my stun, my provoke, all his moves, putting up the shield with the actual strengthened protection buff. But his passive, he heals by 50% of his max HP when you die or an enemy dies. When anybody dies, this guy heals himself back up. So even though he's not going to be very effective at controlling waves as he could be, I put him in masteries to where he's going to soak up damage for the rest of my team. Because he's constantly going to heal because Nogdar likes to die. If Nogdar dies more than 1 time in a turn, Sachi can pick him right back up. I'm also going to bring, since we're doing a lot of Shadowkin today, Oboro. I also went over her. You can go check these out on my site. Just search them. But Oboro is an amazing champ. Now she's almost fully booked here. Not quite. We're missing some key elements, but she's doing serious damage. I do have her built. I do have her masteries going on. So she has a passive as well. She can put revive on death every time she gets a veil. She does this by using ninja arts constantly. So if she becomes a target and dies, she'll pop right back up. Healing Burn Geary, who would normally be putting out provokes and stuns, also giving us another fear chance on the entire team, locking out their abilities. So that's pretty awesome. So you can pair these people up like a Suicide Squad, and they just don't care if they die. They love it. And without bringing an actual healer, somebody with an actual move with a cooldown that revives. So let's get back to Sachi. So one thing, you saw her kit. It's a good kit, but that A1 that has an AoE. So many heroes. That means that you can bring a stun set on her. In reality, most people would probably throw a stun set on her if you were able to get another bit of utility, some crowd control out of her. Well, instead of CC, because we all know what it looks like, right? I've done it 100 times on my channel. We're going to throw her in a toxic set and start spraying poisons around. And most of her kit is actually single target after that A1. So when she's on a boss, she'll be landing poisons. So we'll just try the dragon because it makes perfect sense without bringing a poisoner. But I'm going to just not to do the obvious. We'll throw her in a poison set and start spraying those everywhere. So on her masteries, I will say I tried her out with Helm Smasher. She does good damage, but not like outrageous damage. You just want to get her in a damage build enough to get a kill every now and then so she can revive if you need it in a pinch. But I did take War Master. I switched it over to War Master. It just makes much more sense. She's really good on bosses. Every move she has is excellent against a single target that's difficult or a boss. So that's the way we're going to go with her today. And like I say, I went with the toxic set. But total stats, I've got her middle of the road speed. It's not that easy to get a ton of attack on her, but 3,400 is pretty solid. 200% crit damage. She needs to crit. 93, it doesn't bother me to be a few percent off, but you do want to get her crit rate up where you want it. And I would like a little more HP because she's kind of the only active reviver, so you don't want her to be your target. But aside from all that, you basically kind of want a well-rounded build. You'll need accuracy according to where you are. If you're in hard mode Doom Tower using her, and she absolutely could be useful there, especially in the stun set instead of a toxic set. But either way, you could put her, more about 300, 330 on accuracy. But you kind of want all these stats to build up pretty equally and nicely, in my opinion. So let's take her out. Let's take her out and see what she could do with her Suicide Squad. And remember, as we do this, Nogdar would be wrecking things if he was built. This dude does ridiculous damage, but here he's going to be a wet noodle, right? I mean, literally no damage output. I do also have Apothecary in a toxic set, so we're going to be spraying extra poisons around. Nogdar will do nothing other than die and revive just because it's fun to watch. As he does that, Barangiri, who would normally be getting provokes and stuns, would be soaking up damage for us and healing every time anybody dies, which Nogdar does very well. And then we're going to have Sachi, who could revive Nogdar if he dies twice. And we've got a self-reviving mechanic built into our biggest damage dealer is actually Oboro here. But she'll be outshined because of the toxic set. Pretty fun team. No joke. I had a blast doing this. The Suicide Squad taking on Dragon 20. We could do 25 if you like. I don't want to make you sit through much. You want to see what she could do. And then we're going to have some fun with these crazy passives on everybody. So basically, let's kind of get the ball rolling. Nogdar would be laying people down here, but he's going to get a lot of turns. As you can see, if he were doing damage, he's going to cycle through turns because of that frenzy set like an animal. But we've already got poisons out. Nogdar's died once, came back. Barangiri healed up from it. We do have Fear out already because of that revive. So Nogdar's just waiting to get hit again. He's just basically waiting to get hit again. And you could build him as a glass cannon to where he did take those hits, even in in-game content where you're doing huge damage, because he would be laying these people down. But he could still die, just like that. Pop back up, Fear goes out right there on Tyrell. Excellent place for it to be. We also, in case Fear lets us down, we had break accuracy from Sachi. We've got poisons everywhere from Sachi and from Apothecary's toxic sets. And the first wave is just death and destruction. Like, literally, we just died so many times. It's absolutely one of the coolest, funnest teams I've ever played. And it would actually be a pretty quick team if these people were built. If Barangiri were done, I don't have the resources. I wish I did. I can't wait to get Nogdar built out. So there he goes. We finally got Nogdar down twice in a round. So now we just want Sachi. There she goes. She revived him again. And Nogdar will take a turn in 1 second. And then he can die all he wants again. And the entire time, remember, we would be provoking. And in a provoke set, I really think you get a lot out of Barangiri also. He would just keep provoking with his AoE and his A1, and they would be beating on him. And anytime anyone else took an AoE and died, he would just heal back up. He also heals when we kill the other enemy. It's absolutely a gross team. So everything's so easy and smooth. It's just... and fun. Like, come on. If you can't have fun with a video game, you shouldn't play that game. This is way funner than just one-shotting everything and getting through it. So now we kind of hope Sachi gets the move here. We actually lost Nogdar, but now he's pointless anyway. He's not doing any damage for us, so we don't need him. He could pop up and down every now and then, but you can't fear the dragon. So that was all for show anyway. Burangiri's bringing absolutely 0 to this. It's really down to Oboro's damage, Sachi's damage. We have Leech up now, so as we take these hits, notice no crits came in on us. That's because she broke his crit rate. Leech is going to heal us up as we take our hits. We're laying tons of poisons between her and Apothecary, just wearing a toxic set. All we have to do is wait this out. Easy peasy, and that would not be a long run if we had Nogdar doing some of the most fast-paced damage you've ever seen in this game. I've got him on my second account built out. I love the heck out of that Nogdar. But Sachi brought all of our healing mechanics aside from Apothecary's single target heal. She was breaking accuracy, so if we were, let's say we were at 150 resistance and we broke the accuracy in half on the dragon, we wouldn't have taken a single stun, a single poison. She was keeping that crit rate off of us, so he couldn't crit against us. These people are squishy. She had 30,000 HP, 2,000 defense, I believe. Never died. Now, we did have Burangiri putting up a strengthen buff, but the passives working together, I highly suggest. There's so many heroes in this game now. My head starts to spin when I read them all. But look at those passives. They're so fun to put together. If you put a team together where they're all synergized with passives, it's like having an entire extra set of masteries on. It's like their kit completely changes. So once I get this built out, this team, Apothecary might not be in this team, but this team's going to be doing some fun stuff one day. Okay, let's do some real content with or without the Suicide Squad, but we're still going to play off these passives. There are ads on the Eternal Dragon. I'm only floor 80. I've missed like 3-4 days already. Been pretty busy, but we can fear those ads if that happens to be the case. If somebody dies and revives, we're gonna go ahead and bring. We want short cooldowns. That's one important thing against the Eternal Dragon. We're gonna put the resist aura in front with our healer with Rector Drath. She's going to help us resist those blocking our cooldowns. We're going to bring a Burrow for defense down, but mainly for damage. We're just going to, because she's a good pair, we're just going to bring her for she can revive herself. We're going to break attack. We're going to break defense with Stagnite, and we're going to bring short cooldowns again and a lot of rapid response coming from Noble, and just let her do her job. She's going to break the accuracy on the ads because they like to provoke you. That's going to help protect us. She's going to put Leech up. That's going to heal us. She's going to keep the crit rate down on this boss, which is going to save us. There's a lot going on here. She can revive if anything goes wrong. So we're going to zip through the waves and see how this handles the boss. Okay, here we go. Basically, we broke accuracy already. That's one good start. We've got the resist aura. I do not have resist built onto my team. We just resisted every one of those. Every one of those. Broke that accuracy in half and put a resist aura in the lead with 0 banners, 0 gear. We should be able to take care of the ads easily between Sachi and Noble. Everybody's got short cooldowns in case we do not resist it. Leech is up, so we're going to heal right back up. And if anybody dies, they'll get revived one way or another. And when that happens, we'll be able to put fear on the ads if they're up. She's actually a fear monster. If you put her in that Suicide Squad, she could fear the whole team pretty much nonstop, which would pair up great with Noble, by the way. If you haven't seen how good I think he could be, check him out. I definitely think he's a better champion than people give him credit for. But this is a pretty easy, safe fight. We're having zero trouble with it. And there we go. All you got to do is find the same ingredients, whoever you have. Breaking defense is great. I have 2 people that can actually do that. I have 2 people here that can break attack. You definitely want that. But what she brings, dropping crit rate, leech, breaking accuracy, these things are all found right here in Sachi. And she throws out poisons if you put her in a toxic set, or she helps you through the waves in a stun set. You could even put her with single target damage dealers in a sleep set. She'll sleep everybody, but then she'll just hit one at a time. There's a lot you could do with her. I think she's absolutely more solid than I was giving her credit for. I knew I wanted to build her, but she's better than I thought. And I'm tired of sitting on gear that I'm not using, so I'm going to start throwing things like toxic sets on some of these heroes and having some fun with them. But that Suicide Squad, I can't wait to get that thing built. If it actually becomes what I think it could become, I can't wait to run it through almost every dungeon in this game. I've had a fun day, guys. Thanks for sitting through it, and until next time, enjoy the grind.